What's going on, everybody? My name's Austin Ariel. Welcome back to my channel. I've been gone for almost a month now, and I apologize in advance. I'm going to release another short video explaining why, but let's just get back to the nitty-gritty. Today I've got a 2022 Kia Stinger GT2 all-wheel drive. This is fully loaded. It's got every option available and all-wheel drive. So today I'm going to show you the differences between this and the outgoing 2021. So let's get started. If you guys are new to my channel, welcome. I've got a lot of car reviews already on my channel, but I've got good things to come. But if you guys have already been subscribed, welcome back to my channel, and I always appreciate the support. Again, if you're new to the channel and you like what you see, definitely hit that subscribe button. Definitely show support for the channel, and it allows me to continue making these great reviews for you guys and walkthroughs on cars. And if you like this video, then give it a thumbs up. I would definitely appreciate it. So without further ado, let's get back to the review. So for 2022, there's not much that I'm gonna go over on the front end just because there's not much that has actually changed. So on the GT2 trim, everything is identical except for the new Kia badge. So you still have the fully adaptive dynamic LED headlights with the LED running lights and the LED turn signals, dark chrome. So there's nothing different visually aside from the actual emblem. So, and those who are curious about the headlights, they are full LED. The low beams are going to be dynamic, so they swivel with your steering wheel and they're auto leveling. And then the high beams are automatic as well, and they are full LED also. So the wheel set has been very controversial on the 22 models. So this is the wheel set that you're going to find on the GT1 and the GT2 Stingers. So it's still a 19-inch wheel, still going to be 225 in the front, 255s in the rear. The front tires are going to be a 40 series sidewall, where the rears are going to be a 35 series sidewall. Overall, same tires. They're going to be Michelin's. So I don't know how to feel about these wheels. Let me know in the comments below what you think of these wheels, because I'm torn. Like on this Aurora Black model, I think it looks really good, but on other colors, I kind of think it looks But totally up to you guys to make that decision for yourself. And then don't forget, you still have those really, really nice Brembo brakes on the vehicle as well. Don't forget, you also get the new center cap here with the exposed lug nuts. That is actually a little bit different from the previous non-facelift model, and you have Kia's new corporate emblem down there. So on the 2022 models, the rear lighting is completely different, and they've given everybody what they really wanted, and that is a full light bar in the back. So when you hit the brakes, this is a full light bar, which I'm going to show you in just a sec. Outside of that, you do have full LED brake lights, running lights, and turn signals on the GT2. Lower trims will have incandescent bulbs for the indicators, but the reverse light's still an incandescent bulb. I don't know why they won't just give it a LED bulb for the rear. Who knows? And then for the exhaust, you still have the quad exhaust, but this time it's a lot larger, but you can still see the actual metal exhaust tips. I don't think they executed that too well. So outside of that, there's nothing really changed about the rear end. You're still gonna have the rear parking sensors and the front parking sensors. I didn't go over that in the front, but for those who are fresh to the Stinger, you do get that as well. And you have your reflector built in here. It's a really, really clean design. I just feel like the exhaust tips might be a little overkill. Let me know what you guys think. So just like I said earlier, this is actually a power tailgate. So you press it and it actually does open. And it's kind of weird saying power tailgate on a sedan, but this is technically liftback, so it is a hatchback for the rear, but nothing else has really changed. And for those who are not familiar with the Stinger, the power tailgate has always been available on the GT2 trim level on the Stinger. So here, this one's largely unchanged, so no differences here on the GT2 model for 2022. Just press this button up top and it'll close for you. So let's get into the interior of the 2022 Kia Stinger. So this being a GT2 model and it's an all-wheel drive model, this is as loaded out as a Stinger will get. So let's start on the door card. So you do have this metal finish, looks like aluminum. You do have these speaker grills, which look absolutely amazing for the Harman Kardon surround sound system. You do have memory seats on here as well. You got a metal finish for the door handle and for the actual door handle itself. Got your folding mirrors, power windows, power mirror adjustments, but you do have this new kind of design here on the door card. And yes, that's leather. And then you do have a little storage pocket on the side here. The big deal here are these new design seats. These are going to be Napa leather that you'll find in the GT2. You can see you have every adjustment known to man. So of course you can move it forward, backwards, change the angle of the seat back, lumbar support, and you've got the power thigh support, which is really nice. Sport pedals on the GT2 as well. And then over here, you're still going to have that gloss black on the vent surrounds on the outer vent, just like the older Stingers. But you do have these buttons here. So illumination there for the gauge cluster, lane departure warning. You've got your fuel door button there. And then this button is for the power tailgate, because this does have the power tailgate. Now, for 2022, the only model with a power tilting steering wheel is going to be the GT2 model. You can see here with the new Kia emblem on the steering wheel, but you do have a power tilting steering wheel, and it is memory connected. So when you use the memory seating, it will connect the steering wheel, the outer mirrors, and the actual seat itself. Now let's take a seat in this and let's fire this thing up here. So push button start. I'm gonna close the door here, and you can see the gauge cluster is unchanged from the previous non-facelifted model here, but you do have some minor changes. So first, the biggest change is going to be the addition of blind spot view monitor. So when you put on your turn signal, it shows you what's in your blind spot on both sides. It's an active camera system, which is really nice. In addition to that, you're going to have a little bit of differences in the gauge cluster. So now you have these new design gauges. Instead of it being kind of a analog display, you do have these gauges here. Now, outside of that, if you've seen my Stinger GT1 video for my personal Stinger, this is going to be pretty much identical to it. So I'm not really going to go too in depth on the gauges here. Now, the steering wheel is a little bit different, nothing too crazy. So you do have this new star button here, or custom button, of course the logo, the new Kia logo, and then you do have an additional button here for the lane following assist. Okay, in addition to that, the cruise control is now a one-touch cruise control. So instead of having to press cruise control and then set, now it's just press it and let it fly. And then of course you still have the radar cruise control selector there and the pages button over here. Okay, now the big elephant in the room with this interior, I'm actually going to hit close on that, but you do have this new 10.25 inch screen with Kia's new infotainment system. So it looks phenomenal. It is a much needed update to the Stinger, just because the outgoing 8-inch screen was a little bit outdated. So they've brought it pretty much into the current times. So if you've seen some of my other Kia videos, this infotainment system is identical. So I'm not going to really go into detail about it, but I will link some of my other videos down below, so that way you can actually see the walkthrough on the infotainment system. Now, you do have the updated frameless HomeLink mirror. So this is an auto dimming mirror with the HomeLink at the bottom, which is nice. Looks very modern. And then because this is a GT2, you have every nicety known to man. You've got the dual zone climate controls, wireless phone charger here, fast charge USB, 12-volt power outlet, shift by wire transmission. It's still an 8-speed automatic. Press P for park, and then you can just shift it into drive, shift it into reverse, little half tug for neutral. You have it all, and then you can just press P, goes into park. Okay, cup holders, you have this metal finish for the center console area, electronic parking brake, different drive modes, and yes, when you put it in the sport, it tightens up the bolsters on the side of the seats. You have auto hold, so when you're in drive, you press this and it'll hold the brake pedal for you. Both front seats are going to be heated, but now on the GT2 model, you get ventilated seats. And I'm not saying now as in the GT2 model finally has it, but I'm saying that in the sense of the GT2 model is the only model that's going to have ventilated seats. And I'm speaking on the American market, because I know some markets have differences in trim level, but for the American market, the GT2 model does have the ventilated seats. The GT1 no longer has it. Idle stop and go switch there. This is going to be for the camera, so you press it and it activates the surround view camera system. And I will say, Kia's cameras in recent times have been absolutely amazing. They're very clear. I would honestly go as far to say pretty high def, but you can see here, you can select different views. So select your different views here. So top view, but I like that one if you don't want to curve your wheels. It's really nice. And then you can see you got the guidelines here with the top view camera, and it's cool because if you go into drive here, okay, you notice it switches to the front camera, which is really nice. So, and even then you can select your front wheels, you can see just the front camera itself or a top view of the front area. It's really, really nice. Shift it back to park. So you do have that there. This is for your parking sensors, and then you do have a heated steering wheel as well. Now back to the steering wheel, because I forgot one little detail. The 22 has this metal accent here at the bottom. So it used to be gloss black, but now it's this metal-ish. I don't know if it's real metal, it might be plastic just coated in this color, but it looks really nice, and I swear on my life I'm going to change mine to this because this is much better than the gloss black, just being honest. So the passenger seat has the same adjustments as the driver's seat as you would expect, and then up here you got LED lighting for the map lights, and yes, you do have the wide sunroof still, so it's a little bit bigger than a standard size sunroof, but yes, you still have it here in the Stinger. Okay, so now one thing that's missing from up top here, if you can guess it, okay, who cares about guessing it? You're missing the sunglass holder, so you no longer have that in the Stinger. Kia is actually going away with a lot of the sunglass holders in their cars, and apparently that's a common trend in the auto industry in general. It's so strange, but they're doing away with it. Now, it's going to be hard to see because it's in daytime, but in addition to the 22s is the fact that your ambient lighting is no longer just along the base of the trim. It's actually going to be up top into the top of the dash now too. So that is an addition that they have made for the 2022 models. So I guarantee you it's there. Trust me, it is all new for 22s. One thing I did not make note of is the key fob is actually different from the outgoing one. It doesn't have this round area at the end, but the overall shape is pretty much identical. But you also have remote start on this car, standard on every Stinger now, so just make note of that. I don't know why I'm on a roll of forgetting some details in this car, but one of the biggest things in the interior, and all the other GT2s had it, but you do have a heads-up display here, and it's kind of difficult to see it just because it's on the windshield there, but there you go. But yeah, you can see everything from lane safety all the way to speed, blind spot detection, navigation directions, but you do have that on this car. I'm in the back of the Stinger, and honestly, if you want to see spacing of the back seats, I'll link my GT1 video because it's not changed at all. But as far as niceties go, you still have the same design on the leather here, Harman Kardon surround sound, but the rear seats are going to be heated. So I'm gonna close the door here. You can see 3-stage heated rear outboard seats, which is nice. So, and then you still have the metal accents back here and the climate controls back here, so you can select your own temperature. Granted, you can't really select your own fan speed, but you still have that option here. You got a 12-volt power outlet and a fast charge USB, which is really nice, and map pockets on the back of both seats. So overall, still a very nice place to be, and it's really nice knowing that you do have the rear heated seats here on the GT2 model. Okay, so I'm familiar with the Stinger because me and my fiance, we have one, right? So, and we have the V6 model as well. So if you guys aren't familiar, 2018 to 2021 Stinger models have the same 3.3 liter twin turbo V6 to an 8-speed automatic transmission. The difference is that for 22, it gets a new exhaust system, which is supposed to yield 3 more horsepower. So because of that, your power goes up from 365 horsepower to 368. So it's really not a vast difference between models, and honestly, from what I've felt, it's non-existent. Right now, what I will say, does it sound better? I can't really tell a difference, to be honest. It really doesn't sound different to me, but I do understand that, you know, once a car passes a certain threshold of mileage, it really opens up. And I do think that's very true with the Stinger, because we have about 2,500 miles on ours, and it's definitely livened up a bit. So one thing I've always loved about the Stinger is just how beautiful the power delivery is, because you do have 376 pound-feet of torque, which is amazing for a car like this. It really is. You know, I feel like it's personally more than enough for a car like this, and it delivers the power effortlessly, you know. So there's really not much in terms of turbo lag, which is exactly what you want in a car like this. So I'm definitely enjoying it. But coming from a 21 into this car, I mean, it's pretty much identical in terms of space, drivability, everything. You know, the shift-by-wire transmission, it's cool. I mean, it looks better than the standard T-shaped gear lever, but that's just aesthetics for me in terms of like comparing the two. I know the shift-by-wire has some advantages, you know, whether it's feel in terms of luxury and smoothness, but as far as drivability, it feels identical. And then outside of that, I mean, build quality is just as good. Oh, excuse me, someone's in my throat. Oh, that's what she said. But yeah, everything feels really nice. I mean, it's overall a really good car. I think the craziest thing for me about this car is the fact that, for one, it still doesn't have completely digital gauges like a lot of other Kia Hyundai Genesis products do. But I love the fact that they've integrated the blind spot view monitor finally. It's one of my favorite things that they have integrated into this car, and I think it is really, really necessary for a lot of cars to have that now. And I'm really happy that this one does have it. Now, I got it in sport mode, and I think this is when the exhaust gets a little bit louder, but now I'm starting to hear it. Yeah, it's a little different in sport mode on this one versus mine. I'm gonna wait until I get around this roundabout to really kind of push it a little bit, because I'm not really going to take this on too long of a test drive. But overall, if you guys are considering a car in this price range, you know, like an S5, an S4, BMW M340i, which has more power than the Stinger, this car is probably one of the best values in its segment. This car stickers between $54,000 and $55,000 depending on accessories, and it's worth every single penny. I can look completely beyond the badge, because if you took the badge out, this car is just as good as the German competitors. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's nice. I can definitely feel. I love feeling the power. The power this car has is just so enjoyable, because it delivers it in a way that's just addicting. It really, oh, it's so nice. I do hear a little bit of a difference with the exhaust tone, but it's not anything that would make me trade in my 21 for this car. So just because I think trim level wise, I think they kind of messed that up a little bit for the Stinger, but c'est la vie. But overall, I think this is a really, really good performance bargain, especially at $54,000, $55,000. I know the market right now for cars in general is super high, so you might not realistically get any discounts, and I know some places are even marking these up. That's just supply and demand, and I get it. But overall, I think this is a fantastic car. It looks beautiful. Nobody knows what it is. You're gonna be under the radar, and then people can get surprised really quick when you mash on it. So overall, it's a really, really good car, and I think anybody would be happy with it. So without further ado, I'm gonna say a big shout out to Carriage Key of Woodstock. They're the ones that actually have this specific vehicle, so thank you to them. And then again, I ask you guys, if you do like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you are new to the channel, definitely hit the subscribe button if you want to stay connected with me and see the content that I unleash/unveil on a constant basis. And then again, thank you guys for all the support. So until next time, I'll see you guys.